Jasper introduced me and my company. We're predominantly in the rice business, and the reason we chose to be here is, to be able to share with you what we call Food Connect. India is a diverse country. However, every state in India grows rice without exception. Some more than others, some twice, or sometimes at 3 times as well in number of crops. Rice is actually not a commodity. As we saw, Shomit explained about futures, exchanges, there is no such hedging mechanism which exists. Rice is actually a staple and more often than not suffers from a lack of categorization. This unique product, provides more than a quarter of the global nutrition. And the theme which I'm going to talk to you about is building sustainable food brands, especially in the Indian context. In most developing and earlier in the developed worlds and currently as well, governments have used staples and commodities as a mechanism for equitable distribution of wealth. That's why we have the intervention price and its equivalent in Europe. In the US, we have the minimum support price in India. This brings about a unique challenge in our current environment. We all know that India currently is not a common market. The only exception being the farmer. The farmer can currently take his goods and services across the length and breadth of the country without any interruption. The challenge and the opportunity is for processors and brand owners like ourselves and many of you here in the audience and on the panel to be able to do this in a sustained manner. So as we move towards GST and creation of a common market, I see an explosion of investment coming into the Indian farm sector. That's why we coined our connecting mechanism as Food Connect, where we are engaged with the farmer through the mandi. Now that's something which I'd like to bring in here. We have the Indian mandi system, which has been the key differentiator and a peace mechanism for our country, keeping the various cultures across the length and breadth of India together. Wherever the mandi system is working effectively, you find relative peace, harmony, and progress in the country. There are pockets in the north, central, and east of India where the mandi system is still lagging behind. However, wherever it has matured, the government has taken steps, and entrepreneurs like us are also moving towards creating a parallel market, because we firmly believe the farmer cannot be subsidizing the urban poor. We see a lot of rhetoric in the media about rising prices and so on and so forth. I haven't seen actually a farmer complain about high prices of food. Recently, in the last couple of years, we've seen farmers march to the parliament when sugarcane prices were low, or in Western India, go on strike and not bring produce to the mandis when the onion export was suddenly banned. So we've got to move away from this, ability of ours to restrain food movement, whether it's import, export, or movement within the country, because it's a depreciating value to the farmer and then to the supply chain. The challenge and the opportunity also is large-scale process and distribution capacity to be built into our country. This will augment Indian produce into not only nationwide but internationally as well, which will enable further equitable distribution of wealth. All the supply chain tools, management, processing currently used in India is at its fairly nascent stage. Coming back to what I said, that rice not being a commodity, just about 6% of rice grown globally is traded. India, along with China and rest of Asia, produces more than 75% of this product, which serves the world, and we contribute to 5 out of the 6% of the product which is traded. So herein lies the great opportunity of Food Connect, where we produce, procure, process, and package food in India and serve it to the world. The thought being creation of an Indian common market, large-scale investment coming out. Agriculture today is maybe the most regulated sector in India. The opening and deregulation of this sector is something where we all as thought leaders here should think and move towards. Because here lies the great untapped opportunity of keeping this country culturally rich and equitable distribution of wealth. I'll leave that thought with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Karan. Now we had Somit and Karan taking care of large part of the downside part of the downstream part of the value chain. We'll move a little bit more upstream to a company which is active in the